Welcome back, everyone. I wanted to do a price update because what we were talking about yesterday was really uh, pretty much being able to buy down here around this support level. And what we're getting now is evidence of a bullish candle forming. Obviously, we'll see where it closes, but if you are trading, this is technically what you're looking for around a support level. So, for those of you who like the lessons that I give out in videos, you're about to get one right now. So, if you are, let's say you were trading or looking for a reversal, right? So having a price action around a support level is not enough. Typically, you're going to want some evidence that the price action is in fact going to reverse. Now, aside from just measuring different dojis, what you can look for is a very strong rejection off of that support line. So technically, you can say, well, what was the previous candle? Which was obviously a big push up here. We barely closed down. So they tried to push it down here at around 14.7, but we ended up closing at around 15.76. So what you're looking for here is either like a reverse hammer or something like that, or an engulfing candle. This here is really what you want. And an engulfing candle is one that's going to pretty much be bigger than the last red candle on both sides. And this here is obviously significantly bigger and is going to the upside. And it pretty much, the name of it just means that it's engulfing the previous candle. And that just kind of shows strength in that rejection here. And you kind of get some evidence that the coin or stock or whatever is going to is getting momentum to head the other way. So if you were, let's say you were trading this, right, and you're saying, okay, I wanted to get in, I'm trying to measure some call options or just kind of make sure I'm doing right. If I hop in and take this play, here you have the candle. Say, okay, well, before I come in, is this going to reverse to the upside? You'll wait for something like this. So, and technically speaking, you would do this on smaller time frames, but I just wanted to kind of point that out because we're seeing it. Obviously, we're measuring larger time frames because we're long term in this asset. So, but this is what you would use to kind of monitor that to say, okay, well, this is showing evidence here of a reversal, possibly going to do another retest. It doesn't have to be as powerful as these candles, but it gives you an idea that the coin wants to go back to the upside here. So obviously we'll see where the price action closes over the next couple of days. But based off what we're seeing here, the momentum is shifting, and we should get some green candles going forward here. It obviously depends on where this one closes because this one's still open, but we should get some green candles going here back and forth. So this last couple of days we've been green, red, green, red. So obviously we'll need, if we close green today, that's why I said 48 hours, we can see where we close tomorrow because we could have that back and forth going out sideways a few more days, which is fine because, again, like we talked about, that's building out the floor. But technically speaking, if we have like an engulfing candle, then typically that means that it wants to push up. So, but it's not necessarily saying indicative of a particular pattern because we can get two green candles and a red one and two good green, which is fine. But it just kind of gives you an idea of the trend and where the momentum of the coin wants to go. So let's take a look here at the shorts really quick because I do believe that they are still not interested in attempting to short a Doge anymore, at least not right now. Yep. So not interested in coming back in. Slightly green. Yesterday they came out a little more. They were threatening a 6-month low on shorts. Some green activity today. Nothing that I wouldn't have to zoom in to see really well. So we're not going to really worry about that. So they're not confident. They're still not confident that the price is going to go down, probably because they're looking at some of the things that we're seeing. So right now the bulls are certainly running the show compared to the bears. So that makes sense why they're not coming back into the asset right now. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing something similar. What we're talking about is that rejection, like that red candle here, pretty much rejected off of the 14. And what I meant was, we see that the candles are stacking. This is what I meant by it doesn't necessarily have to be that aggressive as far as for like the previous candles, but it kind of establishes a trend, right? So these candles are a little smaller, but they're still green. It's still closing higher than the previous day. There's just little small movements, which is fine. You don't necessarily have to have the bigger candles going forward, but it gives you an idea that that the bulls are still winning the show, and that the trend line overall is respected. That support level is respected, and it's trying to go higher. It's just searching for liquidity to do so. So that is absolutely perfect. Let me check BTC shorts here really quick. Yeah, everybody got out. BTC shorts ran for the hills. So yeah, not confident that these coins are going to go down across the board. Bitcoin shorts ran too. Of course, they weren't as high as Doge, because Doge shorts were above the 200-day, which is this red line here. So they didn't get that high, obviously, but they certainly are well below. They pretty much ran from like the 72 below the 14. So they got out of those as well. So this is something we'll look for. We're going to look to see when shorts feel comfortable that they're going to get a break to push these coins down. When the tide is kind of going to turn, we'll see that green candle, and we can couple that with what we're seeing in the charts and use that as evidence to say, okay, we could be entering a significant cool off or threatening or retracement period to grab some additional liquidity. They feel like it's going to come down, and we'll couple that to see if it kind of matches what we're seeing in the charts. Let's check Ethereum as well. So I want to, because I know sometimes Ethereum does its own thing. Yeah, so this here is a perfect example of an engulfing candle. So if you had to couple this with what I said about Doge earlier, you have the red candle here, and let's just say you have to kind of chart this to make sure we're too high for that. But okay, so for an example, let's just say that the 14-day was the support line, which is kind of where it bounced from. What you'll be looking for is evidence of the reversal, and having like an engulfing candle, which is this is completely engulfs it on both sides. And then that gives you an idea of the power of at least the momentum of the coin wanting to go up. And that's what I meant. It doesn't have to necessarily be big movements after that. It just gives you an idea that the momentum or that is there for a reversal. And then you, of course, you got the confirmation here with the engulfing, and then it sets the new trend. So that's what Dogecoin appears to be doing. So obviously we'll have to wait on this candle to actually close. But for those of you who were looking for entries and stuff, just kind of keep that in mind that it was around the 15, which is a support, or lower. That's going to be ideal. So right now it's looking like we may go up and do another retest, which could necessarily mean that we're not going to necessarily go to 20 right now, but it could mean that we're going to, let's see, 17 to like 18 or so, which is great. Yeah. So see the coin, the price, the candle just moved up quite a bit. So this is what I mean by when we can potentially retest some of these areas. So probably around like 17 to 18 will be a great retest here. And also keep in mind that you don't try and time the market, because when the action gets explosive, then it really gets explosive. Because the beautiful thing is, when we tested 21 cent before, we were coming from 8 cent. That run of 9 days straight was testing 21 cent was from 8 cent. So now when you have that momentum coming in, you're not taking off from 8 cent anymore. You're pretty much taking off from around 15 cent. And now you're accelerating this. So this is why it's puts us in a great position to kind of knock out those lower 20 numbers and get into that mid 20 range. So obviously we'll see how these candles close, but I wanted to let you guys know about that new pattern that appears to be formulating this, because I know I put the video out as far as for like the buys yesterday, and it's looking like the buys did take place. So we're seeing some aggression here to the upside. So I'll report back around this time when this candle closes, and we'll check to see if we got some confirmation here to the upside. But it appears Doge is in fact turning bullish. So that being said, if you appreciated this video, if you found value, consider subscribing to the channel, like it, share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next update.